come to save you all. Sister Abigail is waiting, light it up for my brothers. And if you wanna find us, just follow the buzzers. Oh yeah, listen, I've been thinking about how you'll feel when this elbow sinks in your chest. You hot dogging, grandstanding, have a cup of coffee in a big time, but it's a rough landing. Yeah, the mega stars in the building, you can feel electricity just running through the ceiling, dummy. A little BFT, I put a spark through you. 1, 2, is this on? Hold up, let me talk to you. There's a new sheriff in town, I admit, but there's only one showstopper, one main event. Back in my day, it only took one super kick, a little sweet chin music, and the curtains close quick. The Rock says, know your role and shut your mouth, and if you want it, just bring it. You know what I'm about. $7 to Hollywood, sold tequila, sold tickets. Turn that belt sideways, and you know where you can stick it. You're a dead man walking when you step in my yard. When you hear that gong, you will feel the fear in your heart. When the creatures of the night moving for the defeat. Tombstone, last ride, may you rest in peace. Well, if Bill Goldberg wouldn't have kicked me in the head, I'd be in this match and you'd be the one dead. And I'd still be the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be. It's the game. Now let me make this understood. You ain't in my pedigree. I am that damn good. Better bow to the King of Kings when I do my thing. Lay you down for the 3 count in this very ring. What? You hear that shattering glass? I check my watch. It's time to toss some pieces of trash. Stomp a mud hole and walk it dry. If you're talking fly, drop you on that stack of dimes, and that's the bottom line. Well, if I may interject, I want to say I hope everyone in here is having a nice day, because sadly it will come to an end when my mandible claw hits your gullet and you drop and I win. Oh, it's true. You better give me your respect. Who else could win a gold medal with a broken freaking neck? When I pull down that singlet, it's over with for you. Snap your ankle in 2. Oh, it's damn true. Yo, tell me you didn't just say that. Spin a Rooney on him like we used to do way back. Then the 5-time champ will spit it. Can you dig it, sucker? Hey yo, you came to see these fools? Or did you come to see the new definition of cool? Toothpick in your face and now I'm in your head. I push you to the limit, then I take you to the edge, Chico. Guess what? You're next! Awesome quote. Spear and a jackhammer. That's all she wrote. Had to come in late, cause I won't be here long. My matches are shorter than most popular songs. Woo! You talking to the one, the kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, son of a gun. Dirtiest player in the game, greatest of all time. Oldest ride with the longest line. Well, you know something, brother. I would let you continue, but I had to give a quick shout out to all of my.
Hey, what's up? What's up? Oh, snap. What up?
Uh-oh. What up? What up?
With the surprise running.
Uh-oh. What up? How's it going?
Good, man.
There we go.
There's I mean, as it is every day, there's some wrestling news, you know. So I just wanted to run through a little bit of it with you.
Wait, you said wrestling?
Yeah.
You said wrestling?
This thing called wrestling, and it doesn't stop. They don't have any. They don't have.
What's good, a pagan priest? How's it going, buddy?
Hey, oh snap! With the NXT title, okay.
Yeah, it just happened to be leaning somewhere. I got like a bunch of autographs on it. I don't know. Maybe somebody that's coming back. You know, somebody named Malachi.
That's black and gold era.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Well, all right. Let's just talk about that first. If you were booking Malachi or Aleister Black, what do you do with him?
First of all,
If you got the book
before
and
we
you're
even
ready to,
go down this path, what are you calling him?
I think if he comes back, he's Aleister. But
You sure? Because I feel like Miro is gonna be Miro.
you think
I don't
so?
know. I don't
That
know
would be
why.
interesting. It would
Like,
be because Rusev, the gimmick was that he was Russian to begin with.
mhm.
So that's kind of over with. He's clearly not Russian. He's Bulgarian. So, um, I don't know. Miro is his real name. Malachi is a name that he made up, right? Just like Tommy N before that. I think he would come back to what they own him as before, because then the toys aren't played out. The toys aren't out of style. You know what
Okay,
I'm saying?
you
I'm thinking
definitely
for of a licensing standpoint. The
okay. Yeah,
toys
you
you had,
definitely hit the nail on the head there. I myself did not. I forgot about all that.
yeah,
It's
like they
all,
might
it's
have
all
old
about the
toys laying
business,
around.
baby.
They got old toys laying around. Yo, just put them back out. Like it's no problem.
So
I
you
think
think
for
that they
that
keep
reason alone,
old
you keep
toys,
the
huh?
name. You keep the name because you can't waste time changing names and then
Like in the gear
repackage.
and stuff? No?
Yeah, new gear, whatever. Um, I mean, he's probably gonna need new gear. He probably threw away or sold everything that said Rusev on it. But and I
So
think he's probably in better shape now than he was as Rusev. He might be smaller, but
so going back to the original question, if you know, Mr. Black, because we don't know what
we
he's
don't
gonna
know what they'll call him.
I would honestly, I read this. This is not an original idea. I read this out there. Um, I would make it so, you know, Dominic Mysterio. Remember how they hinted like, "Hey, we need a new member." I'll bring
Mhm.
him in as the quote unquote new member. Help them win a tag team match. Help them win a IC title match. Finn or Dom, whatever. Like, just help them in any way.
Mhm.
Like, and then all of a sudden, you got a built-in feud. You have Finn going like, "Wait a minute, I said we don't need this other person," and then they're like, "No, we like him." And then all of a sudden, Mr. Black,
Mm.
Alistair, Malachi, whoever you want it to be, he comes back and he's like, "You
So
know what? I don't normally say anything, but yeah, I think everybody is cool with me being here except you. So guess what? You got to go." And
then
then
they kick Finn out.
yeah, or for reasons unknown that they haven't publicized, I believe Bo Dallas is taking some time off. He's been off the road. That's why the White Six hasn't come back. You could easily
Yeah.
slide in Malachi into a revamped version of Howdy if they want to do that. If like Bo Dallas goes, "Hey man, I kind of want some time off," and then you take it back to the 90s, do Howdy versus Howdy,
Yeah.
like Taker versus Taker. There's so
Ah,
many ways for them to go. You know what I
that'd
mean?
be weird, but yeah, I can see it. But that's I don't know. You can't do it without Bo Dallas. Like that's his brother. Like I feel like that's
But I mean, they're not doing it without him, and that's
yeah.
part of the problem.
I know.
That
It's like it lost its steam without him. So I don't know. I think I had somebody pitch to me that he should be in Judgment Day, but then I thought, Judgment Day is kind of
they're about to be done.
like like they're kind of like over. Like it doesn't seem to me like they have anything going on.
But
Like
we
they
said
sit
that
in the back.
before.
They sit in the back
Remember?
playing 2K. Like, can you imagine Alistair just sitting there playing 2K? Like,
No,
it's
I
not.
mean you trim the fat. If you revamp Judgment Day and Judgment Day ends up being Dom, Liv, and Alistair, and maybe her heater, then you have a tight knit group. Then you get rid of all the comedy. You know what
Mm,
I mean? Like,
yeah.
and then Carlito goes his way, or Carlito sides with Finn, and then whenever this guy comes back, he sides with Finn, and you can extend it because remember, uh, Judgment Day was was dead on arrival when they went spooky, and all of a sudden they had Edge. Like, if it wasn't for the turn of Rhea and Damian Priest, with Finn, you would have not had the Judgment Day that we like now.
Right. Well, that's my only thing. I think they have to go back to spooky for Malachi Black to fit in. And so that could happen because, like, that interview or that little thing with AJ Styles, where they was like, "Oh, Finn couldn't come out. Oh, where's so and so? Where's Rhea? Where's like they kept like, oh, where's Liv? Like he kept saying like, where is everybody else? Like you all they got." So Dom is fighting AJ next week. I would consider during that match, lights go out. Alistair shows up, give him that kick, and he takes out AJ while nobody's looking, and then we get the pin. And then we don't know if he's joining or maybe he just don't like AJ. And then that could lead to a WrestleMania program with Malachi and AJ.
I could definitely see that. But honestly, this is the time to strike while the iron is hot. You got to give Dom some credible victories. He's like even if
what does he need? He don't need nothing.
I mean, you got to establish him as somebody that's actually a threat to become the leader.
He's not a threat. He's never been a threat.
I mean, I want to see a Dom Finn program where Dom comes out on top. Don't make him babyface, but like kind of like I know you hate me, but keep in mind, like just because I've been playing the background, I can still bring it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because he's money. He's money, man. Like, have you seen him on interviews? You've seen him in doing media. You've seen the heat that he naturally brings and the progression that he's brought. You know what I mean?
I agree with that, but I don't think he needs to be like a menace. I think he's kind of good where he is. Like, he's kind of lovable idiot. But like, to believe he could take over, he would have to do a lot of.
Or like you could book him like Eddie, bro. Like Eddie, although Eddie was in very top physical peak, you know what I mean? He was a body guy at a certain point. Eddie wasn't menacing, but you had to respect his work. Like, like if you were a champ and and all of a sudden you're like, you got a match with Eddie Guerrero, you're like, oh man, like I might lose my belt.
I get it. So you could totally book Dom as the lie, cheat, steal guy. Like he wins by hook or by crook. Like he's a chicken, but he wins somehow by being sneaky.
Or even like, because Styles doesn't really need. He can absorb a loss. Like have him beat Styles clean, and then Styles gets up and goes, shakes his hand like, all right, have a backstage segment like, oh, what was that about? He was like, you know what, I was wrong about Dom. The kid got something, and then you just leave it, have somebody, move it on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't even have to be a monster or nothing. It's just like, all right, because they're already moving on to the New Day being the hated heel. Like the fact that they had Dom diss him, that told you everything. You remember that backstage segment?
Yeah.
Like they could have easily been like, Dom could have been like, yo, I agree with you. And then it would have been yeah, but there's seeds there because I honestly think they got plans for Dom, even though they're gonna lie and say like, yeah, it's always been the plan. But I think now they're like, all right, these young guys, because Dom is in his 20s, dog.
Yeah,
and little by little, he went from the pudgy tall kid to like a kid that's actually in shape and is getting better in the ring, whether we want to admit it or not, because the IWC doesn't like doing that.
No. I agree with that. I think he's got a lot of potential. I mean, dare I say he's a future world champion. Because he's so over and because he's so hated. Like, that's a future world champion. I could see him in the same way like Jericho when he first kind of rose up in WWE, in that same way where he's like, this guy? What? You know what I mean? But he does it. I can see it. And all you need to do is be hot and be over, and then the rest can be done. Which brings me to my next topic, which is Yeet-A-Mania.
Oh
right.
man.
So Jay called his shot. I saw a couple of talking heads say, I think I was watching Vince Russo talking to Stevie Richards, and they were like, Vince like, bro, this is so predictable, bro. Yeah, like Jey Uso loses every time to Gunther, and now he's challenging him at Mania. He's going to win. He gets the monkey off his back. He makes his, career or whatever. I think that would be a fine night one main event. But his issue was, and Steve Richards said it too, the Yeeta Mania. They started the show off the exact same way, 2 Raws in a row. Yeet's coming through the crowd, playing the music 5 or 6 times, 10, 15-minute intro. It's hype, but do they run the risk of burning him out with the audience if they kind of keep doing this?
No. You want to know why? I think that there's a method to the madness.
Okay.
Is you don't want people to start taking over the show with the yeet. Like you get it out of their system. That way, when you have a promo that's mid, or like somebody, let's say American Alpha is coming in and they're like talking, doing a promo, and then all of a sudden they start, it was like the Stone Cold what? Like that just went away. You know what I mean? Like you don't want it to start yeet, 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 where it's like pulling away from the show. So you kind of like, it's twofold.
So
you
get
show
it
that
out of
he's
their
over, and then you do it. And he's the top program. So what do they do typically with the main event? People, if they're not fighting because they want to save the match, they'll have Jey Uso come out, cut a promo, top of the show, like they do with Cody, unless Cody has an identified person. They're gonna keep doing that, and like they're gonna have these brawl outs and tag team matches. You know what I mean? Until Mania. And honestly, like Russo is a hypocrite because he was there when they booked Shawn Michaels the same way. Like I'm old enough to remember when Shawn had so many title shots against Bret Hart on house shows, on special Raws, and they did the first ladder match together, where you're like, man, like why isn't Shawn ever gonna beat this guy? And then when he finally did, it was like the boyhood dream.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I think this elevates Jey Uso to a main event status that is believable, because you can't have a baby face that just keeps winning. That's why I think what's it called? Braun Breaker, he's like a year or 2 away from the title.
Yeah.
You know why? Because he has not lost. He hasn't looked vulnerable. And in the loss that he's had to Jay, he's got it right back.
Yeah.
Like, like people like, what's going on with Jay? Why wasn't he booked here? It was, I don't think that they completely had it like long term, but I think they saw what was going on and they started sprinkling the ingredients here to make sure that when they pulled the trigger, it makes a compelling story.
Right.
Like keep in mind, imagine if he would have won and then been the IC champ and then be like, hey, Oos, like I want to be the flag bearer. I want to win. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Well, okay. So here's what Vince Russo said, bro. Why would you not, just thinking in kayfabe, if you're Jey Uso, why would you not want to follow in like your family's footsteps? Roman has had the main title. He hasn't had the world title. Yokozuna, main title. You know what I mean? Like, why would he not in his mind and heart of hearts be like, I want the title that my cousin had. I want that. I want the big one. You know what I mean? So I think what the way they did it though, I think they kind of answered that is by they made Gunther bait him into it. Like, yo, I'm gonna just beat you up and show and tell you that you're not on my level until you challenge me. So he kind of forced his hand. And I think that's the answer to that. But like, come on, imagine the shockwaves of the internet if Jay was like, yo, Cody, I want you. You know what I mean? We'd be like,
that would have been even more unpredictable. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
in a bad way, because Cody is going to be involved in so many storylines going forward that how are you going to book Cody to lose to Jey Uso clean like night 2 when Jey Uso has had probably the most title shots of anybody during the Roman era?
Yeah.
Think about it. Think how many times he challenged Roman for that belt. I want to say once or twice a year since when Roman was champ.
Yeah,
He's never beat him.
Yeah,
and then for you to have somebody that Roman arguably hasn't been able to get over that hump, which is Cody, like they're true foils, and then have all of a sudden Roman like Jay on his first shot beat Cody.
No, I think it would make it more interesting. If he was just like, yo, I respect you, Cody, you know, you my man, but I want that belt back in the family. You know what I'm saying? Like that could have been a cool storyline. Like,
but then you would have had to involve him with the bloodline.
Cody would have had to beat him. You know, he probably wouldn't beat Cody.
And I think the reason the Raw title, the world title makes sense is because of the pompness that Gunther has. Because remember when Gunther came out and he was like, man, congratulations. He basically told him, he's like, yo, do yourself a favor, dog. Don't even look this way. Like you might have a possibility of beating Cody. He kind of like made the promo like, you know him, you're friends with him. Like, we already know that you can't beat me. The elitist angle that makes sense. Whereas,
but this is the same. It's the reverse, but it's the same thing basically that Seth did last year, where he begged Cody to pick him. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, pick me, man, pick me, or whatever it was. Yeah, pick me because you know you want this. Like, I know you think you want Roman, but nah, you want me. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. It was a predictable angle. The moment he won the Royal Rumble, I knew he's going to fight Gunther and beat him at Mania. You can't deny that you knew that. You knew that the moment he won the Rumble, where this was going. Are you frozen?
No, I'm not frozen. I'm just my thing is.
Are you denying that this is predictable?
I mean, it's supposed to be predictable. This is the happy ending. This is the happy ending. This is the, you know, the celebration, the 2 years of hard work of him playing second fiddle to everybody, whether it's Roman, whether it's Cody, whether it's his brother at a certain point, whether it's Solo. Like, think about every single time he had to play the number 2. If anything, this is a better version of the Trick Williams storyline.
Okay. Playing the number 2, and then eventually you get to be the number 1.
Yeah. But then it's like weird because Trick was number 1, but was he? Because Carmelo went up.
Yeah. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it's like, who got the better of it? Like, what's the better deal? To hold this NXT title or to get the call up? You know what I mean? Like, what's the real elevation?
It's a call up. Let's be honest.
I think it's the call up because I think he fought Cody like first or second match up there. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's the call up. So yeah, Trick wasn't ready though. To be fair, he was not ready for like main roster call up. But
and he might arguably in certain aspects not be ready now. He's a great promo. The crowd is behind him, but you know the ring work is kind of like. Well, did we lose Rand? Well, to answer your question, Drizzen, Carmelo has killed it on many levels. What just happened?
My bad. I kicked myself out. But
Carmelo is a great hand.
Drizzen says, what has Carmelo done since coming up? Well, everybody can't be a main eventer. I mean, it's a small scene. He's had some good matches against some legit guys.
No. Let's pull this back. So, what are we doing now? Are we kind of like putting the rocket on everybody that gets promoted? Whatever happened to paying your dues? Not even Kevin Owens did that. Kevin Owens,
wait. Kevin Owens kind of did do that. To be fair,
well, he won a mid.
His first match up with the NXT title
Okay, because he was champion. They were trying to protect both of them. And you got to keep in mind that Cody and Kevin Owens, not Cody, excuse me, Cena and Owens were friends. Like you got to talk about this is during the time when The Rock was tweeting at Kevin Owens when Kevin Owens was still in the Indies first, talking about, yo, I can't wait to see you in the WWE before he even signed. Like that is a different thing. But like, think about Sammy. Think about Shinsuke. Think about what's it called? Braun Breaker.
Yeah, like who has come up? I mean, Kevin Owens is the exception, not the rule, clearly. So, yeah, who has come up and immediately jumped in the mix? Like, to be fair, nobody really does. You got to pay your dues. You got to get up there and pay some dues.
And that was a different era because I was watching it yesterday because I got bored and got in a YouTube hole. The Shield. Roman Reigns re-debuted in NXT as Roman Reigns, not Likey, whatever his name was in OVW. And then the next week he was jumping right back with the rest of the Shield, and never wrestled again in NXT.
Wow!
So
yeah, he was gone.
This was during the time, like right now it's a stacked roster. Like not everybody can be main event. You got to have some hands down there.
I mean, that's the truth. I mean, okay, Melo being at a 20% win rate, I still think it's better than him being NXT champ.
Okay,
because I don't even watch NXT. So for that reason, I will say, and it's a pay bump, number one. And you in there, you're mixing it up with legit pros and Hall of Famers and like legends. So I do think it's a little better. And everybody can't win. Everybody can't win. I say that about that's my problem with AEW. Everybody can't have a winning record. Like you can't, everybody can't win. You need some people that got to take these L's. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that literally everybody that comes up, they're winning, they have a winning record. It's because they pad them on Dark and all these other shows back in the day. They were padding all these people's wins records. But like everybody can't be a winner. I mean, when I did watch NXT, Melo versus Trick, that's fair. Tozawa, you know what I'm saying? Tozawa walked out for the Royal Rumble and then got knocked out of the Royal Rumble so they could put Speed in. You know what I'm saying? Like some people got to just take L's. Like you need jobbers. I hate to say the word jobber, but you need enhancement talent. And let's be honest, Melo is small. I mean, he's a great hand, I think, but he's small. Like I don't think he's a world champ. Maybe today. I mean, maybe at some point, but I don't know. Somebody got to take them L's. That's how I feel. About
and then it's like if you guys have been watching wrestling for years, there's only been like one exception of the rule, and that's Goldberg. That from the minute he got under the lights, he got pushed forward. You know what I mean? Like from the minute, like everybody's jobbing. It's like you saw your name versus him across, like you knew you were gonna lose.
You were losing, yeah.
Like Shawn Michaels was a mid-carder for 5 to 8 years before he won the big belt. And people like, oh no, I remember his IC champ. He was still a mid-carder. He was probably one of the greatest IC champs, mid-carder. You know what I mean? Roman Reigns didn't win a singles title until he became the champ.
Well, I feel like Roman was, at least main roster Roman, he was kind of immediately in the mix.
No, think about this. They gave Roman and Seth the tag titles and gave Moxley or Dean Ambrose the United States title.
Right.
They gave him a singles title. And arguably, if you go by the singles titles, whoever won first, like Roman and Seth, until they were separated, until one of them turned heel, that's when they both started pursuing singles titles. It's like somebody got like, you know what I mean? Like not everybody can be pushed up, or else the card will never make sense. You'll have a champion like every other month. Every time somebody makes a debut. That's like if all of a sudden Jordan Grace won the women's Royal Rumble. It's like, she's getting pushed, baby. She knew, baby. Like, or like, somebody debuting like immediate, and then it's like,
no, I get it. All right, so I want to flip the script real quick.
Go ahead.
I'm going to jump to the other channel. Let's jump to AEW. I don't know if you saw this, but Harley Cameron put on the promo of her life after she did the the ventriloquist dummy thing. So I want to ask you about Harley Cameron. I saw a tweet where someone said, "It's time. Just strap her up, give her a hot shot run. She's from Australia. Is this the right move? Do you give her the win? I think she has one win total. She's probably the one person on AEW that doesn't have a winning record.
No,
she has like
resounding no.
Yeah, I think this.
You know why? You know why? Because who is she facing?
Mercedes Moné.
Okay, how many times has Mercedes lost?
None, maybe one. I don't know.
So think about this. It's if she was facing somebody else, I would even give her the women's belt.
She's 14-0 in AEW.
Yeah, if she was facing anybody else, but you're telling me that Harley Cameron deserves to not only win the belt, but beat Mercedes for the first time out of the 4 companies that she's wrestled in? Come on, dog. Like think about it.
But sometimes you go with the hot hand. Is this a moment where you go with the hot hand? Because
when has AEW ever gone with the hot hand? I want to put this on record, and I love Mercedes as a wrestler. She seems to be a cool person, but I feel like she has an even better contract than Hogan, dog. I feel like she says when and where, who and how, and I don't think that's gonna happen. Like, bro, she killed other companies' divisions, so you're gonna have her beat another company's champion in New Japan, win the Rev Pro belt, and then have her lose to somebody that AEW doesn't even book fully, that it's going to be a hometown show. Now, if it was anybody else that had
Steve,
that
I wasn't talking about whether or not she could get
Here we
it.
go.
Here we go, Mr. Right Way. Calm down. Calm your loins. So I didn't say can she get it. I said can she do it. John Alba, whose opinions I usually respect, was like, you just got to do it. You got to hot shot her, even if it's a month, because she's so hot. She's killing it with these promos. She's killing it with this ventriloquist dummy act. She's from Australia. They like to put they hot shotted. Okay, they hot shotted Paige at All In, the first one. She brought her family out, and they was like, "Oh, Saraya, let's go."
You're really gonna say that they hot shotted Saraya? Somebody's been wrestling for 20 years.
They gave her the moment.
An ex WWE wrestler that came in and said her first promo without wrestling a match, saying, "This is my ring."
Yeah, that's correct.
No, that's
not the same. I get it. They was trying to get the cover of, trying to get the front page of ESPN or something.
And you know what? I feel bad for Harley Cameron. I don't think she's gonna win. You know why? Because guess who else got a title shot that same show?
Who?
Toni Storm. I believe.
Yes, it's Toni Storm against Mariah May.
Are you gonna give every homebody the win that weekend?
Yeah, I guess they both can't get it. Okay. So you saying no if you have the book, you do not book it, or no that AEW is not going to do it?
I just think that, well, then again, you know what? Screw it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna even curse. Fuck it. You know why? Because TK has already proven that he doesn't give a shit about the companies that he does partnership with. Yeah, go ahead and have your Rev Pro, your New Japan
so
champion.
Harley Cameron's not signed to AEW?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know anything about her, really. I mean, I've never even seen her wrestle. She has had like 2 matches.
Think about this. Think about this. Like if it's anywhere possible, it would be AEW, because TK does not care about anything except his brand. So you're gonna have Mercedes Moné, who's a champion in 3 other companies, not indies, 3 other major companies that compete,
Yeah.
and have her drop the title and then have her with a straight face come into the other promotion and beat the hottest person that they got, that they've been building up to be the number 1 contender for months, and then walk back out.
I mean, isn't this what he just did? He gave who did he give the free showcase to? Was it Stephanie Vaquer? So he's done some stranger things. Apparently Harley Cameron is just like an overqualified enhancement talent who is really good at ventriloquism and singing, and she does all these other things. And so I think they just thought, all right, let's see what happens. It's Australia. Let's give her a go.
And she was a former WWE person.
And she's made the most of this time, you know what I mean, of the TV time she's been getting. So I'm going to show you. We're going to watch this and see what you think.
No, you might have robbed the bank, but girl, I'm gonna steal the show. I wonder, down under, will I be the one that steals your thunder? I know they're calling you for husband day. I take one of your ways and we'll call it a day.
Harley, are you sure of it? Compared to her, you're new to this.
I know.
She keeps on saying you define just what a loser is.
And we're in the underdog, you know I got a lot of luck enough to do it. I was in the ring, you know I put the effort in.
But will I win? You are the best that's ever been. One of the best that's ever been.
You know what? Stop. Just cut.
Wait, why? What's wrong?
Mercedes, you're one of the greatest wrestlers alive. But you had to start somewhere. And you know, not too long ago, there was a time where I had no idea how to wrestle. But there was also a time where I didn't know how to sing or play guitar or do ventriloquism or speak Chinese. I guess I'm a quick learner. And for all the times that you called me a loser and ignored me, I just want to say thank you, because it pushed me to work harder. It inspired me to be different. Thank you for elevating the women's division, because thanks to you, Harley Cameron is going to win the TBS title in her home country in Australia. I don't want to ride the money train. I want to drive it. Feel the wrath.
Okay, so what do you think?
I don't know, man. It's cool. If you're in the entertainment business, if she's like, you know, has 1 million followers, sure. But I think the fact that you spent the last year and a half building up Monet for her to lose it on a glorified collision in Australia, that's not a good look.
Yeah, I think
I don't know, but who am I? I'm just I'm an old cranky.
It would be a quick pop and a quick thing. And honestly, what I had to say to what he thought like, okay, this is your chance to make a star, and you don't get a lot of chances to make a star. I actually disagree with that, because I don't think her winning a hot shot victory is going to make her a star. I saw Nyla Rose, shout out to Nyla Rose, friend of the show, posted something that it was like 6 years ago or something, that she won the women's world title. I forgot that happened. I'm gonna just be honest. I was like, oh wait, yeah. And she was like, wow, this seems like a lifetime ago. I wonder if I can do this again or something like that. And I was like, clearly winning the title does not make you a star. It's what you do with it after. So because of that, I was like, they would have to continue to give her TV time. They would have to she'd have to continue to be entertaining, come up with more stuff for her to become a star. And I don't think just beating Mercedes would do it. And I think Mercedes, like you said, is on that Hogan deal or on that Bobby Lashley deal, where that's not gonna work for me, sister. So
Or maybe she might be cool with Mercedes, dog. We don't know. We don't know a lot of things.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I also don't necessarily agree that it's the best move because it's not gonna immediately make her a star. To win a match in her hometown is not gonna automatically turn her into a household name. But in booking wise, if you pulled the trigger and was like, you know what? Yeah, it messes up this belt collector gimmick that you're doing with Mercedes. Also, it puts, to me, it could make Mercedes completely change like 180 and be like, I'm going after the world title now. Like, so if Toni Storm wins or Mariah May wins, all right, y'all are next. You know what I mean? So it could, because they've been keeping her away from Mariah May forever. So to me, that's the only way it would make sense, is you make Mercedes immediately say, I want another belt, and then go right to the women's championship. But nah, I don't think you do it. I didn't realize this girl has one win. Shout out to Harley Cameron. She is hilarious. She is entertaining. And she's done the most with her TV time leading up to this. But it's back to the gulag you go after this. I'll see you on Rampage. Wait, is Rampage still a thing?
What if she wins and then like they still push, like Mercedes is still like ending shows with her just doing promos?
I mean, you can't like her. I hope that the freaking puppet thing is not over. Like, I really hope not. Like, I really like it. They need to sell the dolls. Like, she's really good at the ventriloquist bit. So there is no Rampage. So I guess it's off to Collision now. If Collision would be considered, I don't know. I don't know where these shows rank anymore. But speaking of Collision, we have to talk about, probably last but not least, one of CM Punk's Collision favorites has jumped ship. It has happened.
Who is it? You talking about Starkey Rich? Richard Marks?
Starkey Richardson.
Richard Sparks? Spark Plug? Ricky Rick?
Sparky Plug? Richie Rich? I don't know what his name is going to be, but Ricky Starks just made an appearance at NXT, and the internet just turned upside down. And it appeared to be at the same day that the announcement was cleared that he was officially not on the AEW roster anymore.
Hey.
We don't know. I have no idea what his name's going to be, if they're going to use the real name. So there is a backstage update on
saying
why
they have him listed, and it was the deal was so quickly put together that they wanted to make sure that his name is not copyrighted by 50 other companies. Because as we know, Ren, you know, talent likes to sign away their name for money, for anything. As long as somebody cuts them a check, they're like, yeah, you can use my likeness.
Yeah.
And the WWE, they don't care about your name. They care about what they can sell with it. If you sign your exclusive rights to t-shirts to somebody else, they're going to be like, oof, well, your name is now Richard Starkinson.
Starkinson. Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, every video that WWE has put up, there's one tweet from the CW Sports that says Ricky Starks, but literally nothing else has said his name. And I was like, that is not a coincidence. But they just want to make sure, because like, you never know. He could have been like signing stuff, trying to, when you're trying to make a name for yourself in this business, you will sign away anything. And he said it. He used to sleep in his car. Like, he's seen the lowest of the lows. So like, you just never know what, in one of those moments of desperation, you might have just literally signed away something that could stop WWE from promoting you. So let's take a look at that promo real quick. Actually, you know what? I'm not, because WWE is not cool about me showing their stuff. So Don't worry about
it. We could talk about the fact that he was a U.S. Marshal that attempted to arrest Roman Reigns in 2018.
Yes.
He was in the
He got beat up
WWE.
by Ryback or something at catering.
Yep.
As well.
He had a whole feud with FTR before they were FTR. They were called the Revival, baby. He feuded with Jinder Mahal, Enzo Amore, and Colin Cassidy, aka Big Bill, because you can't teach that. Kane as well.
Yeah. That's so funny. The WWE's explanation, like the description on YouTube, it says a new competitor arrives in NXT and promises to turn NXT upside down.
They gave him the anime intro, baby.
Yeah, they left it
we have a new challenger.
They left it open. Ricky signed that contract so fast he nearly lit it on fire.
First of all, Sicky Rarks, that is hilarious.
Sicky Rarks. Oh man. I like the homage. Did you catch the homage to Scott Hall?
Yeah.
To the NWO.
He's like,
you know who I am?
Yep.
And you don't know why I'm here. Here comes the new challenger. Basically, he popped in like a Street Fighter.
Yep.
Yeah. Like or
I mean, but shout out to friends of the show, Mikaze, for making that tank top. It's a joke. They didn't make any gear.
Was it a custom tank top gear?
Custom white tank top. He could have came out with a jacket. My man was apparently it was cold in the building.
So if you could, again, you got the book. You watch NXT more than I do. All right, Marcos, you got the book.
I feel like you're trying to play me there.
No, I'm just saying I don't get a chance to watch it that often, but you did tell me to watch it, and I will, because they got some folks I want to see. But if you got the book, how do you book Ricky Starks? What's the first feud? What's the plan? What's the move?
First feud, easy. Away from the title, you book him in a match with Trick. Trick, that immediately gets a crowd pumped because Ricky could work. Trick is working on his work ethic, and then you have him. There's so many great hands. You keep him away from titles, and you give him the organic NXT push, North American title, then world title, or the heavy, the NXT champion, and then you keep him fresh. There's so many faces that he can face.
So he's a heel. He should come in as a heel, or it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I think at this point you just throw people at him and let his character naturally evolve how the crowd perceive him.
Okay,
you know what I mean? Like if you think about it, this guy's son, Brian Pillman Jr., which is his name is Lexus King. He came out. They weren't initially pushing him as heel. It's just people were like, look at this guy. We hate him already. Like, you know what I mean? It's like you let in NXT, you let people organically be who they are. Like, I think, and they have so many feuds right now that he could just jump right in. I don't think he should do the world title, because then it just jams everything up. When somebody comes in and wins a world title immediately, it's kind of like they got to work backwards. I get it in certain, like Ethan Page was an established superstar, arguably more established than Ricky Starks, because Ethan Page was a household name when he was in TNA. He was part of the North and everything. Like, you know what I mean? And I honestly think that there's more TNA imports coming in. Like I think Ethan Page's tag team partner that was part of the North, the I forgot his name, Canadian dude. Josh, what is it, Alexander? I think he's gonna
walking weapon.
Yep, I think he's gonna head there. I think there's a lot of I think certain people. I think WWE is very deliberate on who they bring up to the main roster.
Well, I got a Josh Alexander update.
Oh, what happened?
He is officially a free agent, and he just hired Barry Bloom as his agent. And if you know Barry Bloom, if you heard that name before, it's because he represents several notable clients: Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Will Ospreay. All those guys have something in common. AEW. Just saying. He also Bloom also manages a couple of Hall of Famers: Goldberg, Jesse Ventura, Kevin Nash, and Scott Hall, but no current WWE stars.
Oh.
But he does represent like 6 major AEW people. So
I feel like he'll get lost. It'll be a second coming of Ethan Page, because Josh is amazing, but they have the workers. You know what I mean? Like they have the people. Like arguably AEW is where the workers go.
Yeah, it's where they go.
That's where they go. They do their flippity flops and the flippity flips, and I'm waiting for the 4-way all bald guy match to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, yep, flippity flops.
That's flippity flops. No, I feel you on that. I mean, if he wants to have like wrestling matches, you know, he's probably like, let me go to AEW so we can get these classics in. But like,
you know what? Yeah. As a guy that I remember him, that he said when he was a world champion, the first time he won the Impact title, he said, because of this, I could quit my part-time job. He was still working. So any bread that this man gets at 37 years old, hey, more power to you, brother.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, hey, TK, back that check up. Give him, I'm sorry, back that money truck up, cut him a check. Even if 3 weeks later he's sitting in the back and catering, he's still getting paid, boy.
Yeah, like let him get his, man. I think he'll go there for the better money. And you know, he's less of a sports entertainer than the rest of the guys, I think. So I think AEW might actually be a better fit for him. But let's hope.
Even though I think he arguably can have a Tommaso Ciampa run in NXT. And since there's like a backlog of people that are waiting to go to be called up, he can make a name for himself and become like the gatekeeper of that brand of NXT. Think about it, like, you know, like if it, like they could kill it, like he could team with Ethan Page, reform the North. They could blow up again and have a crazy feud. Like there's certain wrestlers that I think belong better as pairs. Like a WWE with Sam or with Sammy and Kevin will always be amazing because they could just pull on that thread whenever. A WWE where Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Wrestling, they're teaming. You know that at a certain point, if they're like, you know what, we're not feeling this, like have them turn on each other. That's
do it. Flip it, feud. Here we go. Like ready-made instant feud.
Yeah,
just like, you know, I always say that about Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. So do you think we're on course for Kevin versus Sami at Mania?
Oh yeah, and I hope it's gonna be some crazy gimmick match, like a tables match.
Yeah, I think they should. Yeah, like give them something wild to do, so it'll be something different.
Because for those of you guys, you know, Sami Zayn, you know, he's eerily similar to this retired wrestler called El Generico. When Kevin Owens and El Generico feuded in ROH and in the Indies, that was a hot ticket. Like they always killed it. You know what I mean? Like, and if they're on a big stage, I know we've gotten the Sami Kevin feud, but this is gonna be them as 2 main eventers going up. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's different.
Yeah,
a luchador table match. That'd be crazy. All right. And what else did I see that I enjoyed this week in wrestling?
Well, I could say the most enjoyable thing that I've seen, and it happened today, was that post by Chris Bay.
Yes, definitely want to talk about that. Chris Bay announced, I think today's his birthday, and he had a special announcement on socials that he is walking, which was really cool to see. So shout out to Chris Bay. He's on the road to recovery.
Yep. That GoFundMe is still available because just, you know, it's all more power to that man that he's walking, but he still has a long road ahead of him. You know what I mean? And essentially his earning power is completely gone for now.
Yes, indeed. He turned 29 today, and he had a surgery fusing his neck, his C7 and C6 and C7, and spinal cord fusion with C6 and T1. If it weren't for TNA and that quick reaction to the accident, I may not be here today. I was overwhelmed with the amount of love around me. I was devastated with the idea that my lifelong dream and 8-year wrestling career was over. Specifically, I was told there wouldn't be likely with a 10 to 25% chance of walking again. Oh my goodness. Oh
yeah. At 29, bro, I can't even remember.
Oh man.
Like I was wet behind the ears. Like any decision that I made before 30 was immediately like, oh man, I wish I would have learned.
Yeah, for real.
And that's just me. I'm not judging anybody else. You know what I mean? That's just my personal view on that. I know I made some stupid decisions before I was 30 years old.
Yeah, for real, man. Oh my gosh, dude. I'm happy to see him making progress, man. Like anything is possible. And these guys are top flight athletes, man. So, you know, when a doctor says a timetable, man, these guys are good enough to beat it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're in excellent shape. So yeah, man, all the best to him. I want him to be happy. I want him to live without pain. Like forget talking about wrestling again and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just want him to be okay, be good financially, and to not have to be living in pain. So thoughts and prayers definitely out to Chris Bay and the fam. Yeah. So yeah, if you don't forget, the GoFundMe is still out there. There's still ways to support him. There's a t-shirt on TNA's site that says "We Heart Bay." He's wearing it in the post. So you can go get it on TNA's site. All proceeds go to Chris Bay, not like a percentage, but all of them. I've just posted it. Yep. So go support the homie, a good dude, a really good dude. And yeah, I'm gonna run at this point. I gotta go pick up the kiddo. So I'm gonna get on out of here.
Well, thanks again
for joining me. You'll see me and Marcos talking some Spider-Man on our X Pod. This week we got Big E's interview, and we'll get back on the episodic breakdowns very soon.
Yep.
So yeah, go get those where you can get your favorite podcasts. And if you want to see us at your local Comic-Cons, please let us know. If you got a Comic-Con in your area that might want to hear your boys talk X-Men or Spider-Man or something or wrestling, I don't know. Let me know, and I'll reach out. You know what I'm saying? I just reached out to Phoenix Comic-Con.
Oh man.
So maybe. So we'll see.
Yep. Definitely Marcos needs to make it out to Phoenix.
Yeah, man. Definitely got to get out here.
Yep.
All right, brother. I will holler at you. Y'all be
later,
easy.
y'all. Peace.
All right. Peace. What's up, randos? If you enjoy what you just saw and heard, you can do 4 things that don't cost you any money that help me so much. You can like, subscribe, comment, and share. That's right. It's easy. And if you want more content from your boy, I do 2 songs a month on Patreon. You can get that at patreon.com/Megaran. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.